August 18, 1976. In the middle of the Joint Security Area, JSA, the only place where North and South face each other face-to-face, stood a single poplar tree. It was just a tree, but it blocked the view between two UN guard posts. A small team of American and South Korean soldiers, led by Captain Arthur Boniface, headed out with a simple task: trim the branches. They didn't know that those branches were the only thing keeping the peace. Stop. The tree was planted by Kim Il-sung, a North Korean officer screamed. When the Americans ignored him, he sent a signal. Within seconds, a truckload of North Korean guards arrived. They didn't use guns. They grabbed the very axes the Americans had brought to trim the tree. In 42 minutes of brutal, primitive violence, 2 American officers were murdered in cold blood. The world watched in horror as a video of the attack reached Washington, D.C. President Gerald Ford's response was swift and terrifying. He didn't just want the tree gone. He wanted to show the North the full might of the United States. It was named Operation Paul Bunyan. 3 days later, a massive armada moved toward the DMZ. 52 bombers flew overhead, fighter jets circled the sky, and aircraft carriers sat just off the coast. Hundreds of elite troops, armed to the teeth, marched back to the tree. The North Koreans watched in silence, their fingers on the triggers of their heavy machine guns. One wrong move, one nervous shot, and World War III would have started right there. As the Americans cut the tree down with chainsaws, the entire U.S. military in Korea was at DEFCON 3. Nuclear-armed missiles were ready. For a few tense minutes, the fate of the world hung on the edge of a chainsaw blade. Retaliation. Kim Il-sung issued a formal expression of regret, the closest thing to an apology the world would ever get from Pyongyang. But the gesture was too late to save the peace. The bridge of no return, which for decades saw prisoners and diplomats pass through, was barricaded and abandoned. The shared air of Panmunjom had turned into poison. The fallout was no longer about a tree. It was about the death of trust. But the most permanent scar wasn't the stump of tree. It was the birth of a line. Before the axe fell, soldiers from both sides moved freely within the JSA, often sharing cigarettes and conversations. That era of coexistence died with Boniface and Barrett. In its place, a literal strip of concrete was poured into the earth, a 5-centimeter high border that changed the Joint Security Area into a divided cage. Today, young soldiers stand face to face, rigid like statues, guarding a grudge they didn't start. The war didn't end at Panmunjom. It just froze into a permanent, unblinking stare. The file is closed, but the line remains.